I watched all 16 episodes of Seducing Drake Palma, so you don't have to. Hi, I need to talk about a series called Seducing Drake Palma because I binged all 16 episodes yesterday and I genuinely feel like I survived a relationship obstacle course. I went into Filipino series expecting a cute campus romance. What I got was emotional damage, love triangles, family drama, fake dating, cousins fighting over the same girl, misunderstanding that could have been solved with one conversation, and enough red flags to decorate an entire football stadium. This review contains spoilers, so if you haven't watched the series yet, you've been warned. Let's get into this absolute mess. The plot. The story follows Drake Palma, the mysterious rich guy who's basically every Wattpad male lead rolled into one person. He's handsome, quiet, and he's emotionally unavailable. He communicates like every text costs him €5, or every sentence costs him $5. I don't care. Then we have Iris or Ilis, who's energetic, stubborn, and somehow has a patience of saint. At first, she doesn't even like Drake. Actually, she likes her best friend Shin. Except Shin likes Kay. Except Kay dumps Shin because Drake arrives to their school, so Shin asks Iris to date Drake. So Kay gets jealous or just gets over Drake because Iris will be together with him and comes back to Shin. If you understood that on the first try, congratulations, you deserve a Nobel Prize. Iris agrees because she's hopelessly in love with Shin. She literally creates a master plan to Drake fall for her. At one point, she's basically, congratulations, we're dating. 5 seconds later, she's like, we're breaking up. And somehow that is exactly what gets Drake interested. Apparently, emotional whisplash is his love language. Slowly, Drake starts to catch feelings. Iris starts to catch feelings too. I started catching a migraine trying to creep up with the who likes who, besides of the main characters and obviously love triangle. There were a lot of relationship, like Shin loves Kay doesn't love him back. Then there's a B, Alice's best friend Biggie and Kent. They also like have love story, I don't know. So let's talk about Drake. At first I was rooting for him, then halfway through I wanted to throw my laptop. Then I felt bad again for him. Then I wanted to throw it a second time. This man is definition of mixed signals. Every emotional conversation sounds like something like, I can't promise anything, I don't know, I'll try. Bro, use your words. The biggest family conflict is that Drake believes that her father cheated on his mother with Katrina, so naturally, instead of talking to his dad, he decides to flirt with his future stepmother. I'm sorry, what? This entire revenge plan is making his father think Katrina might be interested in him. There are some hugs, almost kisses, enough suspicious moments that his dad starts wondering if Katrina's baby is even his. But basically, Drake just exposes that Katrina and Drake has a relationship or something to his dad, so his dad breaks up with Katrina. Steve, honestly the most favorite adult in this series. He deserves so much better than waking up every morning to another episode of What Is My Son Doing Right Now. Thankfully, the misunderstanding gets cleared up. Turns out Drake forgives his father. Turns out his mother passed away before Drake's dad Steve met Katrina, and Drake just overreacting and feels like his mother, who has passed away, should stay. His dad should stay single forever, which is nonsense, but okay, communication wins again. Just when everything finally becomes peaceful. They go to college because happiness apparently isn't allowed. Iris doesn't get accepted into Drake's university. Instead, she meets Trip. Trip is kind, funny, supportive, always listens when she talks, and basically the complete opposite of Drake. The only tiny detail, Trip is Drake's cousin. And he completely forgets to mention that. Classic drama logic. Every single time Drake hurts Iris, who is there? Trip. She's crying, Trip. She's heartbroken, Trip. She needs someone to talk to, Trip. This man became a full-time emotional support human. Eventually he admits he loves her. Then immediately goes, haha, just kidding, sir, that's not how jokes work. Now let's talk about that birthday, because this was the episode where I officially lost my mind. Drake promises he'll come to her debut, but he tells her to stop talking to Trip. Eventually, Iris figures out that Trip is Drake's cousin, and Drake figures out that Trip kind of likes Iris, so he's like, stop talking to him. She actually does. She chooses Drake. Then on the big day of her life, the debut, Drake doesn't even properly show up. Chip literally warns her, if I come, I'm not letting you go. He comes, they dance. They're so adorable. For 5 minutes, I genuinely thought, you know what? Maybe Team Trip. But then Drake calls. Trip steps aside, and somehow Drake gets another chance. Trip, my brother, stand up. But also, he doesn't really gets another chance. He gets a chance to talk with Iris about, like, making excuses again, basically. But then Iris tells him that she's tired of always excuses, that he doesn't explain anything because he doesn't like explaining, and he like barely talks to her and communicates, and there's no affection in their relationship. So she goes back to Trip and cries over his shoulder. So she's like single right now, kinda, but Drake wants her back, but then he doesn't want her back because he hates her. And then Shayra comes in. Shayra is ex-girlfriend to Drake or Trip. I didn't really understand the plot of that, but there was also in some point, like elementary school, a love triangle with them. So yeah. So honestly, the character who broke my heart the most wasn't Drake. Drake was an asshole, and totally he had a lot of situations that wasn't unfair, but like he was a walking red flag, right? It was Trip. His whole life he was compared to Drake. Everyone chooses Drake. Even the girl he loves chooses Drake. His father constantly says, be like Drake dad. When he finally stops and says, I'm tired of always being the second, I completely understood him. Was he perfect? No, but he loved Alice consistently. He respected her and supported her. And when he finally leaves, he gives her a photo album filled with their memories. He took pictures of her while she was not knowing and also kind of knowing, and made a little scrapbooking photo album, which was so cute. And this scene made me so emotional. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't toxic, it was sad. He just said, okay, you don't love me, like I said, 5 times you cry, I will make you mine, but 10 times you cry because of Drake, clearly you like Drake. And it's just like sometimes love isn't enough, and that's exactly what happened to Trip. Final thoughts. Overall, this series frustrated me absolutely. Did Drake spend way too much acting mysterious instead of communicated? Yes. Were there misunderstandings that could have been solved with literally one conversation? Absolutely yes. But I was entertained for all 16 episodes. Absolutely. This show is messy, it's dramatic, and it's unrealistic. Sometimes the characters make decisions that make me question if common sense ever existed in this universe, but somehow I couldn't stop watching. My MVP Trip, best adult Steve, I love him. Biggest red flag Drake, most patient human being alive Alice. So overall, I would rate it as a 7 out of 10. Would I watch season 2? Absolutely, if Trip was there. I'm just in love with Trip, but unfortunately, there will be Trip, but the actor who plays Trip got replaced. So I don't know if I will watch the season 2, but I really enjoyed the season 1 just because it was very messy and very, very messy. And
I want your sugar, sugar, your sweet